What is up, guys? My name is Thomas Gross105, and today I want to talk about if Black Ops 3 was a good game in retrospect, if the DLC season was good, and I know that the Xbox DLC 4 has not released yet, and there have been some hints towards a possible Easter egg. I don't really care about all that. I just want to talk about what we've gotten until now, because it seems like this is the end. Was Black Ops 3 good? So, the biggest thing that's been different about Black Ops 3 compared to Black Ops 1, 2, and World at War is there has been a new studio design director, Jason Blundell, and he has a different vision for zombies. Jimmy Zielinski definitely was taking zombies in a different direction before Mob of the Dead, and then there's a very clear difference from Die Rise, Mob of the Dead, Buried, and Origins. Those are very obviously kind of made in different ways, and I think that it did translate well into a full fleshed out story, because obviously we just got the 2 maps in Black Ops 2. Majority of people I've spoken to, they either preferred Mob of the Dead or Origins. Those were their 2 favorite maps in Black Ops 2. And for Black Ops 3, I think it worked doing Mob of the Dead and Origins the game, if you will, with Shadows of Evil, The Giant, and all the DLC maps. I was going to list them all, but fuck that. The biggest problems that presented themselves with Black Ops 3 is the story was just kind of like Blundell just kind of made a new story and then tried to incorporate it into the old story, which made it feel very strange and like it didn't work at all in many places. It seems very clear to me that Blundell just wanted to do a different story from what Zielinski had set up, but he was confined by all this existing lore. He had to make a game that kind of tied in with that, even though it seems like he wanted to make his own thing. The problems this presented was that Black Ops 3 feels very disjointed from everything that came before. It just feels like it shouldn't be the same thing. Mainly because there's a lot of there's the whole thing with like alternate universes and how there are all these different old versions of the characters and how it's not just time travel but they're jumping in between realities, and there's a whole thing with Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man, who conveniently were never mentioned before Black Ops 3. Kinda strange, seeing as how they're the 2 most powerful beings in the universe. And the same thing with just like the whole Apothicon storyline and just the direction Black Ops 3 went in general. It kind of just seems like it shouldn't be Treyarch zombies. Other than that, the gameplay aspect has been really, really good. If you've been following zombies for a long time, all the cutscenes, except for the last one, have been pretty great. It's kind of like every time a new cutscenes come out, it's just been like mass scrambling across the community for everybody to try and find as many cool Easter eggs as they can. And there's just all these like crazy things that were so mind-blowing to first see. Like the first time you see Richtofen step out of the teleporter and shoot other Richtofen, it's just like, what the hell is even happening right now? So the storyline aspect has been good, although it's been very different. And the gameplay aspect has been also very good, although it at the same time has been almost just as different as the storyline, because it did build on a lot of the stuff from previous games, but at the same time it kind of just made it different. Like, previous games have really been try to get the wonder weapon and then get a good gun and then just survive as long as possible, while this game is like, ooh, what's the best strategy, and should I get Deadwire or Blast Furnace for this gun, or should I get Turned if I'm gonna camp, or just like different things like these that feel like they... I don't know. I was really hesitant when Black Ops 3 first came out because all the guns, you can just get one-hit kills with them forever. Like, you can kill an entire horde with a single shot from any gun forever. I don't know if it worked that well. A lot of high rounds are really, really dependent on repack abilities, and although repack abilities are very cool, I think they're a bit too overpowered, and it might have turned out better if they dialed back the repack abilities a little bit. Obviously, this would change how high rounds work for a lot of maps, but I just think the repack abilities, I don't think they worked as well as they could have. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know about that. What do you guys think of the repack abilities? The next very big thing, probably one of the main features, is Gobblegums. It's strange because Gobblegums have this like separation, you know? You have classic and mega. And mega just kind of feels like they just have this thing that will make the game super easy if you pay money. And I was watching the other day, I was watching some of my old videos, and I was watching my first video from after they announced microtransactions, and I was just talking about how this is just gonna make it like stupid, like you could just get to insanely high rounds just by paying enough money. And we're seeing that with big YouTubers who will spend like $1,000 on Liquid Divinium, and they'll have like 40 perkaholics, and they'll just get to round 100 super easily because every time they go down they just get a new perkaholic. And it's just this thing where it's like there's no skill involved here, they're just getting it because they paid money. And that's probably the biggest problem I've had with zombies so far this year, is that they're just feeding into the microtransaction industry thing, kind of, that's going down with the gaming industry, where every single game just has these microtransactions. And I really did not want Treyarch to go down that road with zombies, but it seems like they have, and I don't know. I think that they should have kept Gobblegums as a thing that you need to earn in games. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts towards Gobblegums. The classic ones are... The biggest problem with classic Gobblegums is that they're super underpowered because you have an unlimited supply of them. So there's Gobblegums like Danger Closest, which kind of just feel like the retarded brother of PhD Flopper, because it's nowhere near as useful. Because it lasts 3 rounds, right? And it's going to take up one of your Gobblegum slots. The only way to efficiently use it is if you use it as one of your Gobblegum slots and you just keep hitting the Gobblegum every round for more Danger Closest to extend the time. But it's just such a grind to even try and get like set up with a Danger Closest every 3 rounds every time it runs out, that it's not even worth to use the Gobblegum. And it just makes explosives unviable, and it just detracts from the variation in weapon usage in the game. A really big thing that annoys me with the Gobblegums is that they're so restricted and bad because you have an unlimited supply of them, and you need to grind or pay money to get the decent ones that can actually help you. My biggest problem though with Gobblegums is that they seem to have completely replaced perks, because there has been one new perk in Black Ops 3 so far, which came out on Shadows of Evil, called Widow's Wine. That's the only new perk we've gotten in the entirety of zombies. And we got 4 Gobblegums per DLC, which have kind of replaced the perks, I guess. And it's very disappointing, because new perks is one of the main like hype points about a new map. It's like, oh cool, there's gonna be new wonder weapons, new bosses, and new perks. That's kind of the 3 main things that I would always be excited about in a new zombies map, and now there's just not. And the same with the bosses. The bosses are kind of just the same, because there's the Panzer, there's the Margwa, there's the Thrasher, and there's the Mangler, which are all basically exactly the same. They're like, there's barely any difference between any of these. They just have more damage than the other zombies, which works well for bosses, but still there's like no variation. Like imagine the Shriekers and the Napalm Zombie and the Pentagon Thief and the Space Monkeys. There's so much cool variation in Black Ops 1 and 2. I enjoyed the variation rather than just having a guy that takes a bit more health every couple rounds. Yeah, for bosses, I'm not too bothered, but still, it's kind of, I would prefer to have different bosses. But yeah, that's about it. This video has been quite a bit longer than my normal videos are, and I probably won't have time to upload it on time because my upload speeds. Oh, that might be another video complaining about my life, my difficult life as a white male person making YouTube videos. It's a hard time, guys. But yeah, that's it for this video. What do you guys think about Black Ops 3? Do you think it's the best Treyarch game so far? I would say it's probably the best zombies game so far. Also, it's very nice to play it on the PS4. I just really like the PS4 over the PS3. And I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently if I get a PC that can run all 4 games. But yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys.